Hey everybody, this is Dr. Cash Money with another great Cash Money video. I have a friend of mine in English Channel 3, Celestial Clive, was asking me about glyphs, so I decided I would do a quick little video on glyphs. His question really was, what is the best use? What is the best way to apply glyphs? So I think we should go ahead and kind of look at glyphs in general. Let's see. We'll say upgrade on this. So to access glyphs, we'll go to upgrade artifact and we'll go to enchant. There's various different glyphs that you can get, and all of these come from faction wars primarily. Although raid has been rather generous here lately, we're starting to be able to get glyphs from things like Battle Pass has them. We might even see some in tournaments or events where they give them out. I can't say that I remember getting any that way. I know I got some out of the Battle Pass. The new login rewards has glyphs, and so they're becoming more available. But usually the biggest way to get these is to farm them out of faction wars. And what they do is they enhance the substats that are on your equipment. Now, the biggest qualifier first and foremost is your artifact has to have a substat. So if I want to increase speed on an artifact, it has to have the speed substat before I can use the speed glyph. And so you can use glyphs of stars that are equal to or less than the artifact. So I can use 6 stars on this. If this was a 5-star artifact, I could only use 5-star glyphs. So if this was like 5-star gauntlets, I couldn't use this one. And what they do is they allow you to, like I said, increase the stats. So starting with this little 1-star resistant glyph, we'll see that it can increase the resistance by 1 to 2. So we'll go ahead and give it a shot. Boom, we got 2. Now because we got 2, it grays out this glyph because it can't further upgrade it. Now if it had gotten a 1, I could have rolled it again and again and again until I got that 2. And it'll always keep the highest stat that it's achieved. So let's see for 3. Blam, got it right off the bat. How about that? So yet again, I managed to get lucky there. Now here it's going to say 3 to 5 is the range. Now if I roll a 3, it won't do anything, but if I get a 4 or 5, it'll go up. Wow, I guess the best way to use glyphs is to shoot a video about them. Alright, so final one that we have here is a 4-star 4 to 7. Now if I roll a 4, it won't do anything. 5, it'll still stay at 5, but it'll waste the glyph. If I get a 6 or 7, the stat will go up. Oh, break. So you saw where it said, +4, sorry, bad luck. The glyph was removed from my inventory, it was used up, and it didn't further increase the stat. So when you get glyphs, you can use them to enchant your artifacts and make them better. So obviously we've seen where this artifact used to be resistance 21, it's now resistance 26. And in this way we can take stats that maybe aren't so great, like say this 7% attack percentage. I'm not going to increase this because it's on a defense oriented champ, so it doesn't do anything good for them. But say like this regular defense one, it just allows you to enhance those stats. That's basically the gist of all of these glyphs, is to make stats better. Now as far as like what the good use for them is you really want to save probably your best glyphs that you do come across for champions that use a lot to augment their stats. And there's kind of, in my opinion, 2 schools of thought on this. One, we can make stats that didn't get good rolls, like say this defense, we can make them better. Or you can take stats that got plenty of rolls, like say the speed 2 right here, and make it even more awesome. Or for instance, let me find another good example. Earlier today I rolled on this attack chest and got quads. Look at that, I got quad attack percentage. Granted, it's an accuracy main chest, but that might be good for some attackers that need accuracy. I've used it before in the past. But this way, let's say with this glyph right here, this big 6-star glyph, I could sit there and potentially get it up to 38% attack instead of it just being 30%. So artifacts that you get really good rolls on, you can make them even more powerful. And like I said, this could be a 38% attack on an attack set artifact. So it could get up to what, 48, 53% in a set, basically, because of that. 53% more attack. That's almost as good as this art just being an attack chest on its own. Just a little bit under at 38%. Pretty stellar. So you can save your better glyphs to boost some of your mega stat rolls, or you can use them to balance out artifacts that maybe have good substats to a degree and make them even better. Primarily the big usage of glyphs. I would say there's really not many other great usages besides that really come to my mind on what to do with glyphs. Now, one of the things I would say is, like, you really don't want to waste these on artifacts that you're not using. So obviously, since I'm not using this chestplate right now, I'm not gonna put a glyph upgrade on it. I don't know if I'll ever use this artifact. I may or may not. I may not find a situation that requires it. But for instance, let's take my Lysandra here. Since she's like my primary speed booster in Arena, I've enchanted speed more and more and more as I've gotten good speed glyphs for just more and more and more. Matter of fact, she's probably eaten most of like my speed glyphs just to make her faster and faster and faster. And like some of these stats aren't great, like this 5, like +1's 6, but with a big enough speed glyph, that could be huge. And she does have some like this 15, making it 18. That's pretty good. This 14 becoming an 18 is pretty good. So we have a lot of ways that it can help add up to making different comps bigger and better and stronger for you. Like I said, the biggest way to get glyphs, though, however, is faction wars. Not a lot of people are very fond of faction wars due to the difficulty of them. I try to do faction wars daily, and I don't have like full loadout teams that are going in against this. I usually have one champion that's like really strong, and he usually carries most of my team. And all he is going to be like, say for dwarves, it's my Torment. He's got full artifacts on. He's got full masteries. He's level 60. He's Ascension 6, and he carries basically a team of bodies to go and farm glyphs for me. Am I getting amazing glyphs right now? Probably not. 2 to 4 star. The ideal area to try to work myself into, which I'm not on any crypt, would probably be the 18 area. That way I can start trying to get 6-star glyphs. Don't see that happen anytime soon because Faction Wars itself is a whole nother video, pretty much. So, kind of just in summary here, things that we do want to do with glyphs. We do want to use them on champions we're using a lot. So, if you have like your general core group of people or core champions, you know, invest some glyphs in them. Like, even to this day, like my Athel is like my primary farmer. She can do it in 10 to 20 seconds on 12-6. So I've put glyphs on her. I haven't put every glyph I can on her, but I've given her some here and there to basically make her a more efficient farmer. There's nothing wrong with that, since she's a champion I use a lot of. Like I said, I haven't really invested a whole lot in her since she became my farmer. She's definitely due for some upgrades. But use them to invest in the champions that you use. Don't just put them on random artifacts until you decide to use them on a champion. Try to save your best glyphs that you get for really good gear. Chances are you're gonna need them anyways, because you can't put high star glyphs on low star gear. You can't put a 5-star glyph on 3-star gear. So you're gonna wind up saving them for good, theoretically good gear anyways. But definitely see what your rolls are first. So if you're speculating on a piece of gear, like let's take, it doesn't really matter. Let's take this chest plate right here. If I'm thinking that, you know, oh man, like this might be really good on boosting up the defense of whatever champion I'm going to put this on, I'm going to put the defense glyphs on this. I would totally wait on that until you've actually done the upgrades on this and rolled and see what the substats are, because it might be a waste for you if you go ahead and put your best glyphs on this and then you don't get any good rolls. So you're gonna feel like you wasted that material, and you pretty much have. So always use them on artifacts that you've already upgraded and you're certain you're going to use, and definitely on artifacts that your champions are most likely not going to replace anytime soon. So if you've already set in your ways, like this, you know, 6-star legendary lifesteal helmet, are there better helmets out there for Athel? Absolutely. Do I have one right now? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I've already invested in this one. Am I going to take it off her anytime soon? Probably not. So it's a good candidate for glyphing. But if I had just put this artifact on her just to, you know, complete the set, and I was like, it's just like a, you know, place filler, I probably shouldn't invest glyphs in them, because they can be hard to get, and you are going to have to farm for them, especially the 5 and 6-star glyphs. Those are pretty in-game material. Like, you need like teams, like clan boss teams, for clearing faction crypts to get those kind of glyphs. It's a lot of hard work for those. So don't waste your big glyphs on just any artifacts. Save them for artifacts that are going to matter, artifacts that you're using. But your lesser glyphs, you know, use them on whatever artifacts that you're using right now. So like your 1 to 4 stars, those are pretty easy to get. You can go ahead and use them on whatever champions and whatever gear you're using until you get to a position to where you can farm more. Even the lower crypts, they cost less keys to use, so it's easier to get those low star glyphs. That pretty much does it for glyphs. I did want to cover one more thing with them, which is something that I harp on everybody. If you go up here, there's the I button, and this gives you the complete rundown of glyphs. And look at this lucky guy, he's got 50 of these. Must be a nice dev account. But it tells you, you know, every little bit of the breakdown about them, what the different types are, what their names are, what they affect, you know, how the enchantment mechanism works, all that good stuff. So I always make sure to keep an eye for the information bar. And this just basically covers some of the basics. And it's, you know, good information. The information is there, but not everybody's aware of it. So kind of like my parting shot there. If you have any questions, always check Artifact Enchanting. I'd like to give a big shout out to all my people that are in Channel 3 for all the continued inspiration about videos and things that I can do. All the subscribers and supporters that have gotten behind me. And I encourage you guys to leave comments and critiques. I will respond to them. Like and subscribe if this was helpful for you. Please feel free to share it, and send me more ideas and keep stuff coming my way. And I'll do my best to try to put something that's relatively brief and informative out there for you. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been Dr. Cash Money with a Cash Money video. helping your raid experience be more cash money every day.